Good morning, everyone. Today is Thursday. It is January the 10th. It is a very messy space that we are taking a look at. Let's talk about why. First of all, the overall motion is bullish, but with our trade positioning system that we have here in Motive Wave, we can see that a clear area of resistance from a momentum perspective has shown up right here on this edge, and that combines with prior resistance. That's going to strengthen the hold of this resistance edge. Today, market makers looking at about 26.14 to 26.12 in the upper edges of the spread they have expiring tomorrow. So that's not that wide around the 2580 strike. It really isn't that wide for 2 days of motion. So again, I expect this kind of wiki action. Deep support will be buy zones. The question is, how deep is deep? And my thought is our prior support areas will really define that range for us. Ideal bounce zones are going to occur somewhere around this 25.48 to 25.46 region. And we could hold here and double top. We could hold here and move all the way up into the next edge. Very hard to say. In the end, wait for those edges to pull in because we do have a very mixed bag of motion. Taking a look at the NQ, the NDX is showing us 110 points of range around the 6,600 mark, making that 67.10 or so, which interestingly is, right there at heavy congestion, but not really sure that's going to do that, right? We've got a couple of averages that we're looking at. We can see that we've had a great big move up, and then our adaptive moving average up here is a bit flat. And so that tells us we have whipsaw in the environment with bullish pressure holding in general, the deeper dips being likely into 65.08, 64.90, somewhere around that ought to give us our edges of congestion to hold. All right, pullbacks are going to be buy zones. They just could be a little bit deeper. Taking a look at the YM, we can see that we have the same sort of problem jamming up against resistance. What I find to be interesting is, let me reload my template so that my levels are showing up very nicely. I don't really have anything here that tells me I've identified significant resistance. I don't have any resistance motions here. Let me make sure that I've got, yeah, I don't have any resistance. It's all support action. The closest region for resistance is way back here at prior congestion, and the closest areas of support begin right around here. So that really is it. Pullbacks to be buy zones. We could expand just a little bit lower than we anticipate, but old resistance, new support, going to give us the ideal spaces to watch for buying pressure to come into play. I still would not buy breakouts here. They are very, very dangerous. That's the same kind of environment here in the CL, definitely. Sorry about that long pause there. The CL is coming into significant congestion, significant resistance. If we're to look at where the chart could go, those are our edges, right up there on the edges. We are having significant trouble getting up over 52, okay? I'm using the word significant that many times because this is a very important space that we're staring down right here in the chart. Losing this support level that we can see where the auction vacuum is will punch us lower into our support zones, okay? And so that's, again, auction vacuum, auction vacuum. Is it bullish? You betcha. Pullbacks are going to be buy zones. Prior support actions still holding. The adaptive moving average is telling us 51.23 combined with this low volume node going to tell us that really buyers should try to hold this region up. Don't rush along anywhere in the chart. Just don't rush it. It needs to be really straightened out before it moves forward. And that means you might need to sit on your hands. The wicks have been very big, and that is not going to stop at this juncture. Taking a look at gold, we've got, let's see if we can move our template in here. We've got quite a bit of support action showing yesterday around the 1280. We knew that, right? A lot of resistance action showing up here, a double topping formation with negative divergence. So what does that tell me? It tells me I'm going to come into support. I have two very important moving averages that are almost sitting right on top of each other. That's flat. We're going from support to resistance, potentially back to support. 1288, 1287 going to be the first really solid support line. But for me, I like the edge down here to consider alone. All right, that's it for the futures in 5. Use caution and watch your size.